How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today got a bit more done on Kernel. First off, I was building some roads, just getting to the end, thinking nothing can stop me now, and then Dwayne The Rock Johnson tries it. Like, well, I prefer Hulk Hogan, bitch. Tried a good old wrestling move on him. Look at him. He's done. He's cooked. He's about to star in a generic action movie any minute now. See my flying pipe as well in the background? I hit it the other day and it flew off. Yeah, then I was looking around like, well, I was like 6 inches away from finishing my road, and yeah, that happened for no apparent reason. Found a spot where the scalper can go. I wanted to build a road in this bottom left section, and then also there's a I apologise, I can't really get any more accurate than that. You just drive it around and eventually it deploys, although yeah, like 1 in 1,000. As for missions, the first one was find the spring pump station. I've been next to it all night because again, laying roads all along here, got them everywhere. Here's one of them I made. You can see there's 2 dump trucks, I think there's 2 dozers, and yeah, this thing floating around, and a scalper. Yeah, I can't, like, because I've drawn my own road, I can't just say, oh, it's next to this road, because, yeah, like, that's not everyone's road, but there's a bit of footage there. You should be able to roughly pinpoint where I've put them. Yeah, so find the spring pump station. That was a bit of a easy nothing mission, to be honest. Kelly's back. That's what she always says. And you get them done and there's more patches. I should have listened to that part where she said about replacing pipes. Right, so the next mission, well, she was saying about recommission the spring pump station, and one of the objects is there in the logistics terminal, but the other 2 are over at the bottom, sort of middle of the map at the warehouse. But I also remembered there's another mission called Strengthen the Pier, so yeah, there's a yellow generator pump thing there, but over here on the other side, just a little bit south, yeah, there, are 4 big slabs that it wants you to fix a pier up that's kind of fairly near to where I've got to take that box anyway. So yeah, there's the pier I've got to fix, and you can see where my green marker was in the bottom left. That was like where it wants the boxes delivered. So I've already got a road running up to this pier, so in theory it should be pretty simple. He says. It's always the hope. Yeah, so spawned a Zik 605E, pretty good excuse to get this thing out. From my, I always forget, tunnel exit base. Don't know how I forget it. Every bloody base on the game is named that. Yeah, again, roads all over the place, so it does make life pretty easy at this point. Roads all over that sand quarry. Cut down here. And then I'll cut ahead now, because I basically just connect to the main road all the way, like, pretty easy plain sailing all the way down to the logistics base. And then on the left are the 4 slabs, and on the right you can see a yellow box. That was that's the pump generator, whatever it is it wants me to collect. So I knew I was going to need a crane for this as well, but at least just to get this thing here. Having an attempt at reversing, I thought it was going pretty well, getting it around those pipes and all the rest of it. And now look, the trailer is definitely understeering, like it's just skidding along sideways, which I may have been off on my trailer a bit. I'm not very good at reversing trailers. Getting better with practice, but yeah, it was definitely understeering. It can take half the blame for that one. Yeah, bring a crane in, pissing down rain, but again, I don't mind this rain because it doesn't block your screen. You can still see what I'm doing. The crow flew past there. Another one. Alright, I'll stop mentioning crows flying past. Didn't realise one was going to fly past every 2 seconds. Yeah, these are some pretty big, fat, thick slabs. One of them on the trailer. Next one, I'm just going to lay them all against each other like so. You probably could just pack them flat, to be fair. Like, I just in my head thought, I don't know, it looked cool to just have them all kind of diagonally loaded one after the other. And then yeah, I could have drove around, but I was being lazy. I also noticed this cargo container was movable. When I was reversing the trailer, I purposely hit them just to see if they moved. I was like, that time, fair enough. But then now, I'm pushing the cargo container and it stops, because I've got stuck on practically nothing at the back of the crane. I'll tell you, for a game with deformable terrain, god damn does it have some immovable hitboxes. on a bit of terrain that looks like I should be able to kick it down with my shoe, let alone a crane running over it. And then again, partly being lazy, partly because I just kind of was like, the principle of having a long crane. This is the benefit you're supposed to get. Instead of going all the way around to the yard, I was like, nah, I'll just reach over. And then it wouldn't let me. I must be pretty damn close, but switching through all the winch points, like that should definitely reach it by there. It must have been close because I only moved the crane over like barely a crane width. For some reason the camera nosedived into the ground, but yeah, it now reached it. Seems pretty heavy the way it's like dragging along there, and then it tilted my crane. I put the legs out, and then I had to release it for science because it flew up in the air. We needed to see. Good stuff. Worth every penny. Yeah, back to the Zix. Got these things strapped down. Trying to go all nicely. I've already hit a bin. Well, there's that take no damage mission failed. And then I get a bit of editing going on here because then I started going a bit thumbnail crazy. Had a lot of big machinery in the screen. I was like, right, this is my chance. Yeah, drove back out here, but reverse up because I need... At this point, you could set off. I'm kind of blending two missions into one. So I loaded the generator on, and then I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to need a crane anyway when I... So maybe it is a good idea to lay these slabs down, like, diagonally, because then you can ramp the crane up the back. I've obviously made things extra complicated, adding the yellow generator thing. It moaned about the crane, but I like that it still strapped some of the things. It actually strapped 3 of them. The last one is still loose. But at least it didn't just completely cock-block me and say, no, you can't strap anything. That's how it should be, really. Fair enough if it moans. I already knew before I was doing it, like, god damn it, that pipe's going to get in the way. Yeah, I mean, I attempted it anyway. Floor it, see what happens, hope for the best. I was thinking, maybe, if I'm lucky, the pipes are like, I don't know, invisible hitboxes or whatever. Yeah, switch to the bicycle because that was in the way. I kind of like being that being in the way because I kept swerving around it and it was a good test of vehicles that don't flop around when you have to cut around the edge. But nonetheless, I had to move it this time. It was just, yeah, this thing was not really getting past otherwise. Got the crane back on. Thankfully, you can do like the ramp legs and that kind of cradles it at the back so it isn't really rolling off. And again, yeah, got 3 out of 4 strapped. The yellow thing isn't. Again, potential. I was like, oh, don't know. That's the road it made me pave the other day that I'd already actually laid the sand for. And then, yeah, getting to here, in theory, it should be all good. There's definitely some weird hitbox things going on here. I'll show you.
No wonder Northlock wanted your help with this pier. I bet the quake did it to a number.
I had to interrupt Kelly. It's like mid-thumbnail. Bagged it. Bet the quake didn't do a number on just this one, apparently. Yeah, so this cargo container, of course, they have to put stuff in the way. Again, I do have a crane. I could unload it and move it, but, you know, this is the stubborn Mr. Lone Wolf way of doing things. But you'll see now, there is some weird hitboxes and, like, something going on this pier. Because when I reverse, it's now making me stuck, and I don't think it's the back of the trailer digging in. When I drive forward, it won't really let me get up. It may be a weight issue at that point, because it's got to kind of drag the trailer up. But I don't know, something feels like it's snagged, but I can't see it or anything. So at this point I was like, fuck it, I know, where is he? What piece of shit did he move last? Yep, there he is. Because I had to move that bloody semi-truck. Get myself a goddamn professional. I mean, look when he goes off-roading. And then yeah, I was looking now like, calculating like that woman with the maths thing going on. Hit the green barrel, I can jump up. I can do it. Dukes of Loaf. I mean, it kind of worked. I hit the barrel. That was plan. That was step 1 of the plan. Step 2 was wiggle around like a fish. Yeah, but you see, I knew I'd got the lip of the loaf bumped up onto the dock. So now I've just got to change my angle and scoot his ass around. Got to get like, I mean, what an offensive place to put a lamppost. Did they not think when they were building this dock that one day the loaf might try and ramp off a green barrel and jump up here? Well, his poor planning that is. Yeah, I mean, he is a goddamn professional, so he figures these things out. Trying to fight with that box. I mean, the loaf's job was to move the orange container. And then, yeah, wiggling around now, it was getting stuck for, I wouldn't say ages, but in terms of, like, yeah, wanting to just get up there. Ages enough. But anyway, I winched the orange cargo container out of the way, which is what I wanted to do, so I had a cleaner run of driving this thing up. And then, yeah, look, the back doesn't look... I don't think it's digging in, like... Because normally if it digs in, it'll just stop dead. I feel like, almost like I'm springing back and forwards a bit. And at this point, when I'm reversing, it's just kind of moving me over even more. See, again there, it's pushing me around. I don't really know why. So I'm kind of having to drive at this angle to just keep the trailer on the ramp. But it was still skidding around. It was like, right, come on, loaf. Yeah, winch to this forklift. See, it's annoying though. If I could move the winch points, I'd get the lower winch point on the forklift and it'd wedge behind those blocks on the pier. However, plan B, there was a barrel underneath me. I was like, right, winch that under. I'll lift the loaf's fat ass up. Bit of teamwork makes the dream work. I've now got the Zix moved enough as well. Fire a winch to that. Come on, loaf. Goddamn professional. See, he goes wherever he wants. Might take a little bit of encouragement to remind the game the loaf is a beast. Yeah, winch this thing, click towing on. I mean, it's just a goddamn machine, look at him. Whatever I was getting caught on, it's not when the loaf's in town. Drive over some thing, used to tie boats to the pier. And then I nudged the Zix, it starts rolling back, so I had to quickly switch to it before it rolls back down the pier. Handbrake, man. The amount of times this game puts your handbrake on when you don't want it to. There's a lot of times it also doesn't put it on when it should. Yeah, fix these 4 pier bits. Here, for anyone that's thinking out there, there is no hitbox glitch. Behold. Pretty good example footage. Right, I reverse. Like, whoop. Clearly ain't me. I wish it was. Yeah, straighten me out though. I was like, cheers. Random hitbox. So yeah, God knows what's going on around there, near the ramp, but... we made it. Looking like right. I'll sit the trailer kind of here. In between both of them, the crane should be long enough to reach over everything and all the rest of it. Flap me ramps down. It's actually quite a nice little storage option. Again, this yellow pump thing isn't part of the mission, but I'm doing that one next. I had a plan for that. And then yeah, grab one of these. Again, they're pretty fat and meaty. Throw the first one in, because usually that's like... alright, and then I was looking thinking, really? It's like, I don't think it's going to fit. It reminds me of a conversation I had with a girl when I was about 16. Like, look, it ain't going in. It's not... what am I going to do? Put a condom on it? Ain't going to make it smaller. Gotta move it further away from your head. That's how it looks smaller. Everyone knows that. That's science. Yeah, I mean, again, it looked too big to fit. I wasn't really happy because I couldn't really just drop it and launch it into place. So, finally... had to get a bit of finesse. See what they mean now. Foreplay, that must be what it is. And then I thought I'd try and drive over here. I could have also gone up the ramp and kind of jumped off the side of it, but I wanted to see if I could balance my wheels on that little concrete bit like underneath the pier. A little bit of wiggling there. I only edit it out probably 5 seconds odd. I just have to be pretty ruthless with the editing to get everything in. That's what she said. Yeah, made it up the other side after a little bit of wiggling. Yeah, the corner section to fix. That one a launching. Again, usually the first one's alright. At least this time the blue ghost thing looks about as big as the thing I'm about to drop into it. I think that was being a bit harsh there. But we got it. Strengthen the pier in the bag. So, Kelly, where is she? No. Cock blocking me, look, flying pipe again. See, putting a condom on that. It's already fucked. It didn't even fix the pier either. Not only Kelly didn't appear, but I was waiting for some kind of animation to repair the pier. It looks like I've done sod all. However, plan A star of my mission. I now have the yellow box, which is one of the 3 things I need. And the loaf, by the way, is a cargo loaf. I've tested this many times. Most of it, a lot of it makes it into videos, some doesn't, but I can tell you now. A pipe fits on the back of the loaf like a glove. He's got like the front of the loaf, you can sit cargo on it, but the back has got like the rails running along and you can sit cargo in between it. It stays on there pretty well, even in various rallying conditions. Yeah, so now I'll head over to... see, I fired that out, so it just feels like the loaf should have straps at this point. He is a cargo loaf, we proved it in SnowRunner as well. He was hauling semi-trailers around, for God's sake. Is there anything the loaf can't do? He can't quit. That's what he can't do. Yeah, so I've got a road, you can see zipping off up there going under the pipe and all the rest of it. However, I had spied like a vague semblance of a road along here. See how there's a bit of tyre tracks going on. I was like, alright, I'll just connect back to there. We'll give it a go. We'll help prove Loaf's rallying credentials. And it's not sped up. You just pressed a button on the dash called rally mode. Yeah, but this is a good example. I mean, look, the box is on there. We're swinging around. See how much confidence I have in the Loaf. It's like, no, I don't need a 3-point turn. I believe in you, Loaf. You can do it. They hate us because they ain't us. You get up there. Yeah, in the entire time, though, the back swung around. It's got like a little bump at the back of the back Loaf. So the cargo can't go backwards, and it's got its rails, so it keeps it on. Again, look, to the right of me is death. But again, we don't need 3-point turns. Not where we're going. Get a bit of a lean on, I'll admit. Sometimes you do have to hold your breath and floor it. But you see, swung around, but the cargo stays on. And then I noticed there's another road going along here. I was going to connect back to my sandy road, but I was like, oh, don't mind if I do. Rally mode engaged. I hadn't activated the mission. So all the boxes were white. And then, got here, and I was like, no, I don't need a crane. Even though there's a crane. I literally crashed into a crane. I was like, nah, the Loaf can do it. We need to know for science. See, that's why I had to be so ruthless with the editing. Some raw Loaf documentation to be done. It's more important for science, YouTube, society in general. Yeah, I mean, for one, the Loaf can flex. So I was like, bend in the middle. That'll wiggle him a bit nearer. And I was like, well, that's a good start. Wrong winch point. See, again, if I could switch point, I was like, oh, I'll try the back one. No, that's a terrible idea. Flex again, Loaf. Back winch point, seesaw it up, let go. Like, well, I think it's getting a bit nearer. Oh, it's definitely getting nearer. It's swinging more. No. I kind of wanted the other winch point, but in the end, like, nah, just stick with what you know, Loaf. It's working. What a goddamn professional. Well, now it's kind of balancing a bit weird. But Loaf had a plan for that as well. Bit of winch going on, bit of wiggle. Drops down in the bag, and then you see now, to the untrained eye, it might look like the Loaf has trapped himself, because the generator thing spawned in between the Loaf. But he skids his front end round, and it was like, no, Loaf, you need to skid your front end, and then skid your back end. Oh, goddamn professional, he listened. And he's out, so you can't keep a good Loaf down. All Loafs go to heaven. For some reason I winched a barrel, I don't really know why. Because he can do it all. Run over some trees. How dare you try and ruin my potential thumbnail opportunity. And then, oh yeah, and that was just one box out of 3. Well, that was like, you know, part of the strengthen the Pier mission as well. So I drove to here, the warehouse, parking, pretty good stuff. Get those packed in. And yeah, this was where semi-trucks were coming and going the other day. I had to build a little road just to get the semi-truck out of this place. There's the bridge I built the other day. I still need to delete that. I want to see what the game did with the road underneath, because in theory it builds its own road, but it kind of looks like it's not paved at all. I just need to look at it, delete it, quit and reload so it'll come back, because I don't, yeah, I might just want it in the end of the bridge. Anyway, as you can see, another road. I've got roads going all over the place. This is another one I built tonight. Little sneaky back way through the mountains. It's a bit of a pain building this one. This is why I ended up getting the scalper. It was the reason I got the scalper. I was driving the dump truck down here, and it was like, well, I'll just reverse and get more sand to get within the radius. But the dumper kept getting beached every time I'd dump one load of sand. It couldn't reverse over its own sand, or there's shitloads of rocks down here. It was just easier to like bring a scalper near enough so I could dump the sand and keep driving forward, not have to keep reversing over the own bit of road I've just laid before I've sent like the dozer over it and everything. Yeah, crashed into a rock there. I kind of at the last second panicked. I was like, oh shit, left or right, because I could have cut into this a little bit earlier, but yeah. Whatever, hit a rock. Recommission the spring pump station. And then again, no Kelly. Like, god damn it. I do all these missions for you, Kelly. And you blank me. Repair the piping system. So, it says find an object, which is over there, not too far away. I've got a Kralin thing nearby. I need a scanner, because it's making you find an object. I like how quick this goes, but then sometimes when you turn, it drifts and loses all its speed. Yeah, I rammed in here the other day with it. It might have been a bicycle while I was building the road. I just saw there was gates and stuff in the way, so the bicycle thing was pretty heavy, so I smashed like the gates open. Yeah, scan the object, shove a boat and pipe and all that out of the way. Dig this thing out of there. It was trying to fight me at first. Drag that out of there. Stupid lathe got in the way. I couldn't push the lathe out of the way, but if I winched to it, I'd be able to drag it. And then I was dragging this, and I was like, well, it's pretty bloody slow. Look, it's rolling around. And I was like, I know. Put it on the roof. There's a blue crane in the background in the zone we just scanned. So I even turned around. Look, I can't even drive forward because this stupid game is terrible at turning. You have 0 turning torque. Yeah, use this crane. Long story short, it's a piece of shit. The controls are terrible, and it was annoying. So it took way longer than it should have. Put it onto the Kralin though, and then it just clipped that bloody cargo container and slipped forward. I drove forward to contain the roll, but then when I was just reversing on my road, like, oh, you bastard, last second. See my hopeless, just let go of the accelerator and gently roll backwards. Anyway, had to do it the old-fashioned way. It was a waste of time. Hoist it, yeah, again, got roads all over the place. This is like the two ways into that string pipe section. Driving along, thinking, oh, it's only 40 metres away. And the last second, I was like, God damn, it's up here. I was about to drive to this pump station. Yeah, I realised I'm going to need a crane, and the Kralin ain't no loaf. It's a shame. If that pipe had stayed on the roof, I might have been able to just drive up, and it might have been the right height. But I had this, what's it called, Voron with a crane and everything, at the spring pipe system thing. Gets a bit narrow along there, but just enough to fit a truck down it. I was trying to widen the road, but every time you pour sand, it just falls off the cliff. And I don't mind pouring enough sand to do it, but it'll probably start pretty much burying that pump station and all sorts. So in the end, I was like, sod it, it's wide enough. That's what she said. Yeah, and then I did that, and again, I should have listened to Kelly earlier, because she also said about fixing a pipe. I think because when you first select the mission, it says find object, and then I found the object, dragged it here, and then realised, ah, shit, I need a pipe. And I haven't got any, so I went to the construction zone and bought 2. And then when I heard that noise, I was like, oh crap, for some reason I thought they were just going to appear in my cargo, because I'm so used to spawning duplicate cargo and it falling straight into the warden. So long story short, took a Voron there, picked the pipes up, dropped them in my harbour base, and then recovered to my countryside base, I think it's called. Yeah, one pipe strapped in. You can see in the distance a red pipe on the mountain. Here's the same road I just drove up with the Kralin thing. And yeah, this pipe is off in a bit of an awkward section, but you don't need a large crane to fix it. In fact, yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a snaky little section to get here, so it's probably not a bad thing having a smaller vehicle anyway. Hit the handbrake, like, don't do it. I had to quickly jump back in and like hit reverse. Thankfully it stopped just in time. It could do with some more urgent handbrakes on this game. And it was like, I used to pick these up. Remember the first mission I ever changed a pipe, and I was like, I'll put it in the sideboard so I don't need scrap around. Now, like, good, bye pipe. Hopefully it hits a baby seal on the beach and I can weigh that in for scrap. It's pretty harsh even for me. Yeah, gold. Oh, this was where it was gold complete. I was wondering, because I've now done 2 of those 4 green bars. So it pulls up her barge. Kelly's back.
Communications problems are rapidly moving up the priority list, but it's still far from the only thing we've got to do in a jiffy. The ship's arrived with the amplifier for the
No, I
radio
don't know why.
tower, so you can deliver that from the warehouse. And then we have a leaky pipeline. Oh, and survey the geothermal station. That's the root of all our problems here. There's probably not much left of it, but whatever is left still needs to be properly shut down for repairs. So
yeah, some missions anyway from Kelly. I've not got onto them tonight, but I will tomorrow. That boat pulled up though. It's delivered something. Fix a radio tower. I'm on 64% now. I think I did a 10% jump tonight. Yeah, little look at the missions and the stats and all the rest of it. Another good night's work. Yeah, that's about it for today though. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a loaf because he is a goddamn whopper. Proved it again. And I'll be back soon.